No budget for a sales team? No problem. In this video, I'll show you how to build one using ChatGPT, Zapier, Gmail, and Google Sheets. If you're a business owner or solo marketer, you're probably spending way too much time checking news, writing outreach emails, and trying to find new leads. You don't need to do that manually anymore. I'm going to walk you through a setup that does it all for you. Here's what we're building. A system that scans the internet for news and opportunities in your niche, sends that info to ChatGPT to summarize and write emails, and automatically saves those emails into your Gmail drafts and Google Sheets ready for you to review and send. We're using the following tools: ChatGPT, Zapier, Gmail, Google Sheets, and a free news API. No code, just clean automation. Just a quick heads up that you will need a premium plan for ChatGPT and Zapier. But honestly, it's really not expensive and it's going to pay off big time later. Also, I want to call out that I am not sponsored by Zapier or any of these tools I'm talking about. I'm simply providing a recommendation based on my own experience. Okay, now that we've cleared that up, let's get started. First up is setting up our news API. Navigate to newsapi.org and you will need to create an account to receive your free API key. This only takes a couple seconds and all of it is free. After creating and validating your account, you can get your API key and copy and paste it to your search query. I will explain what we need to do in a second. Next, let's move over to Zapier. If you don't have a Zapier account yet, you will need to create one. It's super simple and it only takes about a minute to do so. In this tutorial video, we're using a more sophisticated and advanced automation, and that's why you will need to subscribe to Zapier's professional plan. It's currently $19.99 a month, and honestly, it's not that bad if you consider the ROI. Once you have your professional account set up, you can create a new Zap on the top left corner of Zapier. For the first step, set up your trigger to daily. In my example, I'm choosing 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's test out your trigger to make sure it's working properly. Next, we'll need to set up an action which is called Code by Zapier. We will go ahead and choose Run JavaScript. Next, copy and paste the following script in your code field. And I also plug this code in the video description so you can copy and paste it easily. What's important here is that you input your API key. That's the key we copied in the previous step. Simply plug it in there and maybe adjust something here and there. Replace the search keywords for the ones that are most relevant to your business. In my example, I'm pulling news for AI small businesses in the United States and in English, US. Next, add a formatter step to clean up the text. Pull in the news title, description, and URL. Keep only the parts you'd want to feed into ChatGPT. You can view this step as kind of a beautifying step for what's to come next. Now, before we can send this information over to ChatGPT, we need to add in a Digest by Zapier step. What this step does is basically making sure that you can't only pull one news article, but you can pull multiple. In my example here, I am pulling 5 news articles. Okay, so here's how you can set up your Digest by Zapier step. First, choose the event Append Entry and schedule Digest. Next, click on Configure and provide a title for your news digest. In my example, I will call it AI SMB News Digest. Now, for the entry section, I will pull all 5 of my news articles. Simply navigate through the previous step and choose your articles. Frequency can be set to daily, and in my example, I also want to trigger on weekends. Time of the day, I adjusted to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but you're free to do whatever you like. Now, let's test this step and move on to ChatGPT. Now, here's the fun part. Add an OpenAI step and connect it to ChatGPT. In order to do this, you will need to have an OpenAI account and have it connected to Zapier. You can find your API key on the OpenAI website. So let's set up the event conversation and move on to configure. In your configure step, you can draft your user message specifically to the action you want ChatGPT to take. In my example, I am asking ChatGPT to act as a senior sales manager who is tasked with summarizing the latest AI and SMB news and come up with potential synergies and partnership opportunities those news could have to AI Perks Hub. Then I'm asking ChatGPT to draft email copy with the aim to attract new clients and partners. I'm including the news articles we pulled before to provide the necessary context. I'm currently using the model GPT-4 and named my assistant AI Newsbot. There's no need for you to define max tokens, temperature, or anything else. Now, let's test this step and move on to a final 2 actions. Let's send ChatGPT's output to Gmail, create a draft, and then map this output to an email body and subject. Just leave the 2 fields blank. We can customize it later. Test it out, and there you go. You got a shiny new app. Lastly, you could add Google Sheets. This way, you can automatically save ChatGPT's output in a spreadsheet without having to manually edit. Simply log the article title, summary, and full email text in a pre-existing spreadsheet. This is your content archive and system rolled in once. Now you can test out your step, and if it works, congratulations! You just created your first ChatGPT sales assistant. If this was relevant for you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.